All right, y'all, let's cut the music. Welcome back. Welcome back to your favorite WMMA podcast. It's hashtag CB99 Talks, episode 196. What's up, y'all? What's going on? Live again, back in the building. Yo, what's up, Marcus? Two Beasts. What's up, man? What's going on with y'all? Hope y'all had a good weekend. Had a decent weekend. I'm off again, though. Just taking some days off here, chilling out. But yeah, definitely needed. I mean, it's been nice weather. I really wasn't able to enjoy the previous weekend because of the allergy issue, but now finally cleared up. I finally got adjusted to, this pollen season. So I'm good now. I'm good. Still passing some of that, congestion, but other than that, I'm fine. What's up, Gary? What's going on, y'all? But yeah, I mean, we back in the building to talk some women's mixed martial arts. And every weekend, man, every weekend, this past weekend for like for the past 4 weekends, we've been getting some good fights, man. WMMA, it's been delivering. So I think we can look, for me, it's always been straight up MMA. You know what I mean? Like, we just have to come over here and do this channel, to represent and promote because people like to separate it. But man, these last few fights, they've been keeping up. The WMMA fights, they were on point. So we can say, look, no more bathroom breaks, right? I still see casual fans calling WMMA matches the bathroom break, the beer break, or whatever. But look, we can't call it that anymore. No more bathroom breaks, right? I wonder how the fighters feel about that. Next time I interview a fighter, I'm gonna find out what they really think about that. Whenever men say that about their fights. So we got to say this, right? No more bathroom breaks. No more bathroom breaks, right? We've been getting some good fights this past weekends. But this past weekend, man, it was crazy, man. I had a lot of stuff to watch and still got to catch up on some things, man. We had what? Bare knuckle boxing. I was watching some bare knuckle boxing, of course. Invicta FC 61. Invicta FC 61. Yes, I want to talk about that. Invicta FC 61, the UFC fights, UFC Vegas, of course. All three fights were good to me. I enjoyed them. This co-main event, though, this featherweight fight, yeah, I got to talk about that. And yeah, that's definitely on the list, Gary. That is on the list. Shout out to Marcus. He had hit me up about that. Got to talk about that situation with Chanel Dyer. Give my thoughts on that. But hey, man, the craziest thing, upsetting thing this weekend, Friday, April 11th, Tyler Santos is out of the PFL flyweight tournament. Why? I don't know. I'm just kind of waiting around, maybe in a few minutes or an hour, into the stream, maybe like an hour into the show, we can find out why, right? Maybe they'll tell us, or maybe one of y'all find out, right? I mean, they didn't really give that much information on IG, so can't say right now. But yeah, got to talk about this stuff going on, and of course, it is another fight weekend, right? We got another fight weekend here that should deliver. They've been delivering so far, so I'm definitely going. I'm going to keep my hopes up because we always get some good fights, right? But yeah, what's up, Paul? Paul said Torres Finney was the real bathroom break last week. Men's fights can be boring too. Look at heavyweight, terrible. Hey, I can't even lie, man. That fight, I was sitting back eating my dinner and hoping something would happen to make me jump out of my seat, knock my food over. No. I was waiting for something. I mean, it's one thing to pick somebody up and slam them. At least when Loopy picked up her opponent, Palostri, last weekend, the previous weekend, at least when she picked up and power bombed her, but he just kept picking this dude up like he was lugging some, I don't know, some potatoes to a pickup truck or something, like he was just lugging some, you know, cargo or something, and then he laid down on it like he was taking a nap. I'm like, yo, man, put some work in. That's what I'm saying. Like, people always knocking the women, but when Kayla Harrison gets people down, she be dropping elbows. She's big and she's going in there, she dropping elbows on you. So I'm like, Finney, he's in a good position, man. Like, hey, come on, like you got him in a good position to land some elbows. Once you get him down, start working. Like, you this strong, you should be able to body him, keep him in that side control or in that half guard and fire some elbows. Frame him with your forearm and land elbows. You ain't just got to lay there. I mean, like, come on. Like, it's still MMA, like good wrestling, but that's what I'm saying. Like, people always knocking WMMA, but hey, guys like this, they be putting on some sleepers sometimes, So, hey, yeah, definitely, man, definitely. I mean, hey, he won. I guess that's what matters, but still, at least LaRon Murphy, look, I can't knock him. Like, Murphy, he was actually working. Like, he was using his footwork and everything. So, hey, I was fine with his performance, but this one, nah. Maybe it's the matchups, Gary. Maybe it's the matchups that kind of make him decline. I think it depends on like who's doing the matchmaking for these cards. Sometimes we had some decent cards, even last summer, but maybe it's declining because maybe it is declining in some ways because of the approach to fights too. I can't really say that for the women though. Yeah, definitely can't say that for them, right? But yeah, this past weekend, if y'all missed it, there was a couple of BKFC cards, and I was watching. I got to go back and finish this one. Watch this one again. Britain Hart, she was able to defend her belt. Britain Hart's always delivering. Scrappy fight, good decision win for her. She's um, one of those girls that's just dedicated to the sport, dedicated to bare knuckle boxing, and she loves it. I mean, she gives and takes in there. So can't knock Britain Hart for always putting on some good action. But man, the scene stealer, man, was that card from Saturday, man. Jessica Borga, man, the way she laid out Hannah Rankin. I mean, any of y'all watch bare knuckle boxing like that? Do any of y'all watch it like that? I mean, when I know there's not like a UFC card on at the time or LFA, I'm turning this on now. Like, the last couple of times I've been binge watching bare knuckle boxing, it's been delivering, man. Like, there's always stoppages. And Jessica Borga, man, this girl's a beast. This girl's a beast right here. She was able to win the featherweight title with this first round knockout. She laid this girl out, man. Hannah Rankin. I think I was telling Axel that the other night, man. Axel was asking the difference between bare knuckle boxing and regular boxing. The thing is, man, like, bare knuckle boxing, it's just like its own thing, man, because you come in there with the mindset to knock out. In boxing, the knockout comes, you take it. You can set up for the knockout, but that's not really how it is in boxing. You can take any approach. I mean, you can take any approach in bare knuckle boxing, but I mean, the way they set you up with only 2 minutes to work and standing right in front of your opponent, they're trying to set you up for a knockout, right? And that's what the promoters want. So you got to bring in these type of fighters that want to knock somebody out and fighters that don't mind getting knocked out. That's how I see it, right? But Hannah Rankin, coming from boxing, never really was a knockout artist like that anyway. So when she was coming in here fighting somebody like Jessica Borga, who don't mind, give and take, man, whew. Yeah, go look at that. Y'all pull that little highlight up. I wish I could post it here, but you know how they copyright, the copyright strikes out. I ain't even messing with them right now. All right. Yeah, it sucks, man. It definitely sucks. Yeah, I definitely watch bare knuckle boxing now. I definitely keep it on, in the background now. But it's fun. It's definitely fun to watch. Yeah, Invicta FC 61 though, man. This was probably one of their better cards in a while, man. For real. I mean, 6 out of 7 fights were finishes for Invicta FC 61. If y'all want to see the prelims, of course, it's on YouTube, but you got to wait for the replay for CBS. I got to go back and watch some of the replay again, so I can maybe go back and just kind of review who really stood out on the card. But I mean, it's pretty obvious here that, it was all easy work for most of these fighters. But the only decision was the main event. That's about it. But everything else was a finish. And I'm keeping an eye on the opener here, Zoe Nowicki. I don't know if y'all been checking her out. The opening fight, Zoe Nowicki, she got a first round finish, first round submission, an Americana over Kelly Marin. Yeah, she's undefeated right now. She's 3-0. She says she's looking to kind of work her way up and fight anybody they put in front of her. Young flyweight, not that big of a flyweight either, but she's strong. She's powerful. She's only 5'1". My thoughts on her as a 5'1" flyweight though. Might have to see if she can move down. Depending on her weight issue, if it is a problem. I thought she was a strawweight actually. Let me see if she fought at strawweight before. But yeah, Zoe Nowicki is definitely one y'all need to pay attention. Yeah, she's been fighting at flyweight. She is a physically strong little powerhouse, but she's been using her striking a lot. In fights, not just going in there blasting through, using her wrestling. Now, I like what she said. She kind of likes to go in there and use whatever's called for, so that way she can kind of work on everything. So yeah, Zoe Nowicki, keep an eye on her. I would keep an eye on her. Let's see, Joy Pendle, Maria Moranis. Oh man, Joy Pendle, arm triangle choke, first round finish. Another good featherweight fight. This what's her name? Tainara Silva versus Clara Lopez. Oh my goodness, man. That anaconda choke, that was vicious. That was atomweight fight, actually. Yeah, that was atom, not strawweight. But yeah, Silva, man, the way that girl locked that choke in, I thought Lopez had been evolving. I've been watching her fights, keeping up with her, for a while now, since Combate. And she's kind of been up and down. And I know she was on a 2-fight losing streak, and she's been choked out before. Her submission defense isn't the best. She's been put in a ninja choke before, arm bar easy several times, rear naked. That's one of the things that she needs to work on, So Clara Lopez really needs to work on submission defense because she got locked in that not guillotine, but anaconda choke easy. I mean, it would look like a guillotine at first because she just ran into it. And Silva was trying to tear this girl's head off, man. The way she was like jacking her up, and she kept on pulling and pulling till finally Lopez just submitted, man. So these were some brutal finishes to open the card, man. Y'all got to check some of these out. Like I said, they're on YouTube. On the main card, let's see another featherweight fight. Jaylene Robledo. Dang. TKO over Riley Martinez. I think I saw that too. I was in and out on it, but yeah, she had the full mount on her and she was dropping bombs. So these featherweight fights and atomweight fights, they deliver. They've been delivering. Okay, then you had Emily Ducote coming back against Diane Souza. Scored a first round finish, first round knockout, left hook. Okay. Then of course, man, this one right here I posted, the second round knockout, featherweights, Jamie Eden, Jackie Cataline. Oh man. Oh wow. Just looking at the replay, man, now that girl ran right into the punch. I mean, they said they were going to get violent too, man. They said they were going to get violent. They said they was going to go in there and go at it. Tubi said, how much is the CBS subscription? I don't know. I haven't messed with it. I just look at the fights, the prelims. I haven't really messed with it. I looked at it on Fubo before, Fubo Sports, because they would stream over there. But I think you can do like a free trial. You can do like a free trial for it too. Yo, what's going on, Tay? I'm doing all right. Hope you're doing all right. Make sure y'all subscribe to Tay. She's always dropping that knowledge on some combat sports, same stuff, bare knuckle boxing, MMA, and so on. Always like to hear her take, definitely. But yeah, man, this was crazy right here. These two said they were coming after each other. They said it was going to be violent. Jackie Cataline, y'all know she be doing that power slap. Man, she might have to go back to power slap, man. Man, that power slap is probably what's tearing her chin apart. I'm telling you, look, these fighters need to stay away from power slap. Paige, Cataline, all of them. If they want to keep what they got left of their brain cells, they need to leave that junk alone. Power slap is crap. That's my new slogan. Power slap is crap. Power slap is crap. I need everybody to just start chanting that. Power slap is crap. We going We're gonna picket that somewhere, man. Do people still picket? They still do that? I'm old school, man. I don't know. but no, but for real, man. No, I ain't with power slap, but still, you see this, man. Like she ran right into that right hand and she got dropped. I like Jamie Eden. She's one of my favorite fighters I watch right now, man. Jamie Eden, she is a solid striker. Another one of those Aussies that's coming through, putting in that work. Exciting. I like her. And what is her name? Michelle Montague. Yeah, Eden did, man. She got it. I like her style though, man. She like to go in there and stand her ground. She be measuring, knocking girls out. She beat the big Muay Thai girl too, Jenna Fabian too, man. And she whooped Abby Montez. Yeah, so I like her, man. I'm a fan of her. They need make this featherweight division, man. What are y'all doing, man? Dana White, you want to put up some power slap crap, but you can't even make a featherweight division or atomweight division. Come on, look at all these featherweights you got right here. Joy Pendle, you forcing Jackie Cataline to get slapped up instead of fighting some real fights. Make this featherweight division. Abandon that crap, man. Abandon that power slap. That's why I ain't gonna never be no. That's why I can't never be no UFC commentator because I ain't gonna bow down to no power slap, man. I ain't with that. I gotta do my own thing, man. You ain't gonna ever find me on that. You ain't gonna ever find me over there doing no commentating because if y'all ask me about some power slap, I'm gonna be like, let me leave. Now, I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm gonna tell you what it is right away. Yeah, see, Mark said none of us can watch it. I can't watch it. None of us can watch it. I'd rather see you have a fighting chance of, standing your ground, using some technique instead of just standing there and then letting somebody slap you. That's something you do at a fraternity house. That's something they do to kill time when you drunk. That's what them frat house dudes used to do. So I don't know. I don't want to go on a power slap rant, because I'm gonna be cracking myself up here. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the Invicta FC card. The main event was a decision win for the atomweight champion and still Alessandra Fiera taking on Anna Palacios. She has potential. Fiera, she has potential to be an atomweight for the UFC. She's on a 5-fight win streak right now. Only has 2 losses. If they build an atomweight division, yeah, they really need to seek out some of these girls and really do like a tour in Japan and so on. Some of these smaller girls, and yeah, they can build off of that. Yeah, Mike Lee, it's dumb. It's dumb, very dumb. I don't get it. I just don't get it, man. And everybody jumps on board with it. They act like it's cool. Just because it got Dana's name on it, UFC's name on it, they think it's all right. Nah, it ain't all right. You want me to talk about the UFC? Fights, MMA? Cool. We can talk grappling. I'm still learning jiu-jitsu myself, but hey, we can talk about it. But no. Anytime we talk power slap, that's what I'm going to say. Power crap? Oh, you talking about power crap? Oh, yeah. I know what power crap is. Don't get me started. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I got to say. So even these power slap fans, go watch Invicta FC. Go watch Invicta FC. Stop being a fan of that stuff and just watch real fights. Even if you don't like watching women fight, you'd rather watch women fight in a competitive, fair environment than some CTI, whatever, inducing sport. I can't stand it. Can't stand it. And all these fights delivered. All of them delivered, man. 6 finishes for sure. But the UFC Vegas, man, the women delivered here, man. I don't know. Like, I enjoyed these fights this weekend on the UFC Vegas card as far as the WMMA fights. I thought they were solid. They were better than some of the main event fights. I'll say that too. They were a lot better. This fight right here, I got 2 out of 3 of my picks wrong. No, 2 out of 3 of my picks right. I got 2. Yeah, I got 2 right. I got 2 right here. This one here, I was happily with getting wrong. I was happily fine with that. I was fine with getting this one wrong, y'all, because I thought coming into this fight, Vanessa was going to be the more experienced fighter, and I thought we would see Talita Alencar just kind of go through the motions. And honestly, I didn't want to see that. I didn't want to really be writing this pick. Let me be honest. I didn't want to be writing this pick. I'm glad I ate crow. I'm eating crow big time on this one because Talita Alencar, she had me clapping for her in this one. She had me rooting for her. Y'all heard me in the live. I was like, hey, I'm happy for this girl. She looked totally different than her last fight. The fact that if Vanessa just went through the motions and just maybe outstruck her and beat her the same way she fought the last time, that would have made me a little, it would have just made me feel a little like disappointed and like, oh, okay, we don't have no hope. It made me feel hopeless for what we got coming up in the strawweight division. But Talita Alencar looked like a little Carla Esparza in there. Finally, she's channeling her inner Carla Esparza. And that's what she need to be doing. I'm going to start calling her Carla Jr. because with a girl of her stature, she needs to be the bully in there. You got to be the bully. You can't play the outside here, stand on, just staying at bay. She was actually standing her ground. She was a little flat-footed, landing some hard strikes like this. Then eventually, she would put that pressure on Vanessa and just take her to the ground and just body her, man. You could see like the physical strength difference. Even like how Demopoulos was just always accepting of the bottom position because she's looking for submission. Talita Alencar was just like all over, landing hard shots, putting the knee in her stomach, in her face, and just switching from half guard, passing the guard, going to side control, doing whatever she wanted, So I like what I saw. I like what I saw from Talita Alencar in this one, man, because had she went in there and just tried to stay on the back foot and strike with Demopoulos, it would have gave her more of a chance. But like I said, when you smaller, you got to go in there and get that work in. Paul said Carla Jr. pumped the brakes. Hey, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, Carla Jr. She's looking like Carla Jr. She looked like a little Carla Jr. That's what she needs to be doing. She can't go in there and fight small. Like, she got to go in there and put the pressure on it. You saw it, man. You saw her getting their takedowns up in there. That's Carla Jr., man. So it works. She's got to be that type of wrestler. She's got to go in there and throw some punches, and work her way in and put that strength on her. And that's what Easy, I think Easy was saying that in the live the other day, like her back, her shoulders were popping. He was saying like her back is getting like bigger, like she looked like she been really working out. And I'm like, all right, muscles, okay. Yeah, everybody got muscles. They got show, but show them if you got them. But Alencar actually looked like she was putting that strength on. That strength was working. What's up, XA? What's going on? Yeah, that she looked strong. She looked really strong in there. So it wasn't just a muscle thing. I did look at her IG. She was putting some work in. She definitely looked stronger than she did in her last fight. So hey, good on her. Hey, I got that one wrong. Demopoulos, though, man, I don't know what that performance was. I don't know what she was doing. Every takedown, she would just lay there and try to look for an arm bar. And it don't work like that. It might have worked like an LFA, but it don't work like that over here. It just don't work like that, man. You got to be trying to get back to your feet. And that's why I thought Demopoulos would have won this fight. I thought maybe her striking would have been a little bit better, but Talita Alencar, man, she's been training. So we'll see. We'll see what her next fight looks like. I won't say Demopoulos is on that chopping block yet, but she needs to be concerned. One reason they'll keep her around too is because of her character. Demopoulos, she's not a bad fighter. She's not a bad person or anything. She's kind of got a colorful character that they're gonna want to keep around. Especially they're gonna be pushing that pole dancing gimmick. So they'll want to keep her around for that. Let me see. She's lost 2 in a row. Let me see. She's in her last 5 fights. She's 2-3. Let me see. Who could she fight next? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. We gotta see what's next for her. Talita Alencar, though. Let me see. Actually, Denise Gomes got a fight coming up. Can't remember who she's fighting, but I just saw it on IG earlier today. Let me see who would be a good fight for Alencar to fight next. I'm not looking at the strawweight rankings right now, but who's an unranked fighter that she could fight next that could really test her to see how strong she really is and see how her wrestling really works. 2B said I was super disappointed in her second fight, and I picked Vanessa, but was happy that Toledo got the W. Yeah, I was happy that she got it. I was happy. 2B says Sam Hughes. I actually want to see Sam Hughes fight a higher ranked fighter or somebody a little bit more seasoned now. I think Sam Hughes and Carolina would be a good fight. Yeah, Gomes is fighting Elise Reed. That's right. Maybe Sam Hughes versus Melissa Martinez. Melissa Martinez would be good. That would be a good fight. I haven't seen Melissa Martinez fight in a little while. Maybe that can test her to see how well she can cut the cage off and use her wrestling. You know, Melissa Martinez moves a lot, more of a boxer. So, yeah, I think I would like to see that one. Yeah, Gomes is going to be fighting Elise Reed next. So, yeah, that should be interesting. Yeah, decent fight, though. This decent performance. She definitely stepped up her game in this one. All right. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Loma Lookboonmee, man. This girl deserves so much better, man. She deserves a atomweight division so bad. She deserves this atomweight division, man. But once again, she shows that she's holding her own here. She's still working. You know, she beats another one, man. I like Loma's style. You know, I like her work ethic. I just like how she fights. And somebody the other night too said in the stream that made sense. Like if she fought over at ONE FC, she'd probably thrive a little bit more. You see, probably see more finishes and more, you know, more fights on her level. But you know, she's doing all right, man. Yeah, she had a good fight. She had a good fight in this one, man. I like the fact that her wrestling is improving though. But man, I was surprised the other night, man, to hear that she taken down eight of nine of her opponents. Loma Lookboonmee's taking down eight of nine of her opponents, and it's kind of overshadowed, I guess, because her grappling's not like the best, but we always look at her kicks and you know her striking. But the fact that she's getting this many takedowns, you know, and taking down this many opponents just shows you that there is improvement there, and she can grow, and she can possibly be, you know, force here. You know, I think that Loma, she deserves that chance now. I think she deserves that chance to get a ranked opponent here pretty soon. Like, what do y'all think? Does Loma deserve a ranked opponent now? Like, she hasn't fought a ranked opponent yet. And she's got how many fights? Let me see. How many fights does Loma have now? Because this is going to be to make it or break it now. Who she get? She already fought Loopy, right? What about her and Tabitha Ricci? Why not, right? Why not her? I mean, I see a little bit more standout with Loma than I do Tabitha Ricci. Come on, man. She's on a 4-fight win streak right now. 4-fight win streak. She's won 4, 5, 6, 7 fights in the UFC. 4, 5, 6, 7. She's won 7. She's 7-2 in the UFC. I think it's time, man. I think she deserves a ranked opponent. You know, I know that there could be some, like I said, some size issues, but hey, you never know. Tisha's gotten there, Carla's gotten there. Like I said, Alencar's looking good. Give this girl a ranked opponent now. It's time, right? Yeah, Nunes can't win the Saber Life though, man. Yeah, she can't win the Saber Life, man. I mean, this was another good example of just like bad execution. You know, she's long, tall. You know, she was throwing some good right hands, but just so accepting as well, you know, getting taken down, you know, just to get taken down multiple times and not know what to do. And then act like you won the fight. Act like you won the fight. That was bad too, man. That just shows you that she's not in tune. Maybe her team ain't telling her the urgency was like she's behind. Like, what was her team telling her, man? Like, what was her team telling her going into round 3? Because she acted like she won the fight. You know, she was talking about something. What? You know, she actually said that too, that loud. She was like, "Come on, man, you didn't win that fight." That was, oh man. And when fighters do that, man, that's what makes you say, okay, there ain't no room for growth. because maybe there is, I don't know, but she just seemed a little too, maybe she just putting on a show, but there's no way she feel like she won that fight. Loma took her down every round, and the ground control time was crazy too, and she was getting outstruck. Loma was hitting her with some hard left hooks and some big right hands. Loma ate everything she threw, so she was in control on the ground and on the feet. So, yeah. Stella Nunes racks up a 5th loss. I think that spells chopping block. What about y'all? I definitely think that spells chopping block. Yeah, it's time for a ranked opponent, Marcus. 2B said, my only gripe is that her and so many others need to learn to dig 2 underhooks to get their backs off the cage. Right. Yeah. Yeah, that was diabolical. And Nunes thought she won. Yeah, she knows she didn't win that fight. Come on. It would have been one thing if she just kind of like bit her lip and walked away and shook her head. I seen fighters do that. And you'd be like, oh, look, they thought they won. But she actually said, I was robbed. In so many words, she said, I was robbed. But Estela Nunes, man, 5th loss. Never had a victory in the UFC, unfortunately. The last victory she got was in ONE FC. And that was almost 7 years ago. So this spells chopped and block for real. It's not even like Andrea Lee. This ain't even like Andrea Lee. Andrea Lee at least can say she got some wins and actually has some controversial losses and never really got beat up or dominated or finished. Andrea Lee hasn't. She's got 6 losses in a row, but some can argue she might have won a few of them. Even when she went 3 or 4 in a row, she lost like 4 times in a row a little while back. There were some close decisions, but she experienced victory in the UFC. That's my point. Stella Nunes, no. Unfortunately, never had a victory. And to me, that means she's off the roster, right? I mean, what else can you do? That's it. Yeah, and Gary said, yeah, Lee was ranked. Lee was actually ranked too, so big difference there. But yeah, if you lost 5, if you've been around for 5, if you've been around long enough to rack up 5 losses, but you were never ranked, oh, it's past time. What was his name? Blood Diamond. He lost 3 in a row. I mean, he didn't ever get a victory. He got signed real quick with like 3 wins. And when he lost 3 in a row, he was gone. So yeah, I think it's done for her. So I think she gets cut. I think Loma deserves a ranked opponent. All right. Speaking of another cut, let's see. And this is another potential cut right here. Diana Belbita. She got owned by Deani Barbosa. But I think we all knew this was going this way. This was more like a tune-up fight for Deani Barbosa. To me, this was kind of like a tune-up for Deani Barbosa just to, stay active. Like they couldn't get her another, major flyweight fight. I think Deani Barbosa, I've been watching her, I've been pre-UFC watching her and just looking at her Contender Series performance. I saw a lot of improvements in this fight. Number one, I mean, she was out jabbing the kickboxer here, out jabbing the kickboxer, and the way she was popping that jab off was just like, oh wow, like what is Belbita going to do? She had no answer. She's still kind of in this brawl mode where she's hunched over trying to land big bombs, but you ain't got the power to hurt Barbosa like that. This girl is big. She's big. Barbosa's big and strong, and she's durable. So just seeing that showed me that, okay, this fight ain't going to last long. It went the amount of time it should have went. And that's what I got to give credit to Barbosa for. Like, she showed that she was on a different level. Like, pushing this fight out any longer or making this thing a decision would have been bad on Barbosa's part. But she definitely made it look like, I'm better than this girl. She don't belong here. And that's what I expected from this fight. When I saw this when announced, I was like, okay, this girl's getting finished. I'm just saying, like, to me, Belbita's never really showed anything like stand out. That's just being honest. Never did anything that really stood out to me. Barbosa does. I mean, she's got finishing power, and she's really strong on the ground. So moving forward, I definitely want to see what she's capable of. I think that maybe her and Montana would be a good fight. I know she did call for a JJ Aldridge or a Casey O'Neill fight. She wants a ranked opponent. So if she gets that, good. Everybody's kind of been calling for the Casey O'Neill, right? Everybody's been calling for that fight. But yeah, I'm just looking at that now. Diana Belbita, guess she won't have to worry about getting chopped because she did retire. She says right here, Diana Belbita, it was fun fighting at the highest level. I never even dared to dream that I would get there, but I ended up spending my last 6 years fighting for the best promotion in the world. It was a fun journey and I loved it. Now it's time for me to start a new chapter. Yeah, so Diana Belbita announces her retirement. So once again, it's that pattern, man. I've been talking about that the past couple of weeks, right? That's another fighter down. Once they fall behind, that lack of improvement, there's only one way to go, right? I mean, it sucks. I mean, Diana Belbita, she's a seasoned fighter as far as, kickboxing, doing a lot of other things, disciplines, national kickboxing champion. Only 28 too. Only 28, but she racked up a pretty unimpressive record in the UFC, right? I mean, yeah, she was in the UFC for almost 6 years. She finishes with a 2-6 record, right? 8 fights, 2-6. Definitely got to be cut. So, yeah, Montana's cut. That's right. Montana got cut too. Yeah, Gary, I forgot about that. Montana's cut. So, I think, yeah, Deontay Barbosa getting a JJ Aldridge fight or a Casey O'Neill fight would work. And I think I would pick Barbosa against O'Neill. JJ, I'm not sure. I think JJ striking is still a problem, and her takedown defense has gotten better. But I think the Casey O'Neill fight would be winnable for Deontay Barbosa. What do y'all think? At the same time, it would be a good showcase. I think she would have to work for it, as far as like Casey O'Neill's volume, but I think Barbosa's a lot stronger. Yeah. So, yeah, man, at least Diana Belbita is making the wise decision. I know sometimes fighters come back, but I guess she's looking at the record and, her actual competitive nature and how she's been able to last, how she hasn't been able to last. So, yeah, it's better off, right? Yeah. So overall, man, it was good fights. Good fights. They all delivered. See some improvements on one side and the winner side. On the other side, you see that downfall. I would have liked to seen like a competitive fight, though. I would like to seen some fighters hold their own, but everybody pretty much got dominated. But hey, that's cool. That's how it goes. All right. So, yeah, quick news here, man. Yeah, shout out to Marcus. He had told me about this. And yeah, shout out to this Al Zelino on Twitter. He posted this up. Looks like PFL is just kind of PFL is kind of losing right now, man. What's going on? Chanel Dyer, unbeaten British prospect Chanel Dyer, has parted ways with PFL. I wonder what happened. She is now set to compete on Dana White's Contender Series on September 9th, as she is slated to face Jungle Fight flyweight champion Carol Foro, who's 9-1. Who brought that fight up? Somebody brought that fight up to me the other day, asking me if I saw it. I still ain't watched it. I know it ended in a knockout, that Jungle Fight Championship. Somebody asked me about it the other night. Somebody asked me the other day in the comment section. I can't remember, but I got to go check it out. But yeah, so this girl is a champion. She's jumping over. And now Chanel Dyer is leaving. I wonder what the situation is. I wonder if it has something to do with her injury or maybe money. Who knows? But it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks because I wanted to see her, win a tournament. I wanted to see her fight the Wisniewski girl from Poland. I wanted to see that fight happen, but it looks like they might make Dakota versus Wisniewski at some point. Maybe find out some more details later here. But yeah, with Chanel Dyer going to Dana White's Contender Series, we all know what that spells, man. She's trying to get over to the UFC. So if she goes in there and stops her opponent or dominates, they're probably going to sign her. And she's going to be in that flyweight mix, y'all. Is she ready for it? We'll see. I mean, it would have been nice to see her get a couple more wins at PFL. Honestly, I don't know if she would have been ready for Dakota like that because they're a couple of levels apart. Dakota, she's a little higher. Chanel was still coming up, trailing right behind her. Eventually it could happen, but, no. Okay, Gary said he brought it up. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember somebody brought it up in here, but yeah, I guess she's coming over to Contender Series. So should be an interesting fight. Chanel's last fight was kind of competitive, though, against that Valentina Scatsisi. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. I gotta watch this girl's fights. Carol Foro, though. We'll see. Gabriella said couldn't get Dakota. They get Dyer. Yeah. And they still don't really have her. I mean, they're putting it through the Contender Series, right? She's still got to fight for the contract. They didn't just sign her. At some point, I think Dakota, once she negotiates, she'll get it. She'll get it. Chanel wanted a smaller weight class. Oh, really? Chanel wanted a smaller weight class. So you think she's going to fight at strawweight if she comes to the UFC? Is that the thing? Chanel needs to be careful with the boxing in this matchup. Exactly. You hit that right on the head, Gary. That's what I was hitting at. That's what I was hinting at about the Scatsisi fight, the Valentina fight. She was getting outboxed. She got to be careful with the boxing, man, because Muay Thai fighter versus boxer, that jab be killing her, man. That jab was killing her in that Scatsisi fight. She was timing Chanel in that fight well. I want to go back and watch that fight. But yeah, I saw some issues there. I love Dyer, and I'm saying that so she knows that weakness is there, because I was commenting, she always just answers back and responds on IG, but that's something she got to watch out for. That wasn't an easy fight. I ain't no butt kisser, so I'm just telling you, man. I'm just saying right now that, hey, that fight was close, and she was getting out jabbed. That jab was right down the pipe, and Scatsisi was putting that pressure on her. Vanuski got her out of there. She got Valentina out of there, but yeah, she was having some trouble with that. It kind of reminded me of Valentina and Alexa Grasso, the first fight. That boxing can give these Muay Thai fighters trouble sometimes because that rhythm is different and that counter skills is different, because they, just got their feet planted. The dance is a little bit different, Gary said Carol is more of a boxer than Dyer's last opponent. All right, I got to check her out. That might be even worse. That might be even worse then. So she really got to watch out then. Yeah, Tay. I'm just saying, man. I am just saying. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Definitely hoping the best for her. I think maybe reach out, get an interview with her. We'll see. Mike Lee, what's up? Mike Lee said boxing is all Scatsisi knows. She's aggressive but one-dimensional. Yeah, it was working though. It was working in that fight. You said PFL is lost. Yeah, they're very lost. They're very lost right now. Which brings me to this situation, man. Tyler Santos completely out of the tournament. And their replacement is a shocker here. I know Marcus Bell knows the replacement because I know the replacement. And the replacement is really making me scratch my head. So Tyler Santos is out, and in comes Ekaterina Shakalova, who is a featherweight. Am I right or am I wrong? This girl is a featherweight. You got a featherweight coming in to take Tyler Santos's place. So question, has this girl been fighting down? Like, has she been fighting down? I thought all her fights were at 145. Is she close to making weight? I mean, the fight card is what, 4 days away? Are they serious? Ekaterina was in PFL. She's in PFL, but her last fight was against Aspen Ladd. That scrappy. It was a pretty scrappy fight. But what's going on here? Let me pull this up here. Let's go ahead and pull this up because this is just crazy. So yeah, Juliana Velasquez is going to be taking on Ekaterina Shakalova at flyweight, and this girl isn't really like the smallest. I mean, she's 5'2", but she's kind of a thick flyweight, a featherweight. She's gonna be big in there. I hope she can make this weight because yeah, all her fights were at featherweight. Diana Silva. Let me go all the way back now. Let me make sure. Hold on. 135. Okay, she fought at 135 a few years ago. Her very first fight. Let me see what her very first fight was in mixed martial arts. 134. Okay, that's weird. Okay. 135. Bantamweight. Yeah, because I remember a while back, man, I was talking about her being a bantamweight, like being a promising bantamweight. It was between her and the other girl they just signed, Daria Zalesnikova. Like I was talking about them, Daria Zalesnikova and Shakalova around the same time getting signed to the UFC at bantamweight. So this girl's more of a bantamweight than she is a flyweight. So how you gonna get this girl to drop 20 pounds? Like, has she been walking around at this? Has she been walking around close enough to this weight? Like, is she working right now and losing this weight? I hope she is. I hope she is, man, because this thing is 3 days away and she's stepping in a flyweight tournament, not featherweight, flyweight tournament. They couldn't get no other flyweights. You couldn't get any other flyweights. Oh my goodness, man! Like, where's Sumiko Inaba at? Where are these other flyweights from Bellator? I mean, how y'all get a featherweight to drop down? Wow, man. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Easy said, what's up? What's going on, man? He said, I'm sorry I'm late. Oh, yeah, man. You just not just in time, but I'm still here for, good chunk of time until I'm done. Paul said, is that the one that Aspen Ladd just whooped? Yeah, it is. It is. The PF Axel said the PFL needs to get rid of those tournaments. They really do. They really do. What's up, G Frame? They got to get rid of these tournaments, man, because is Tyler injured? I don't know. The coach that put it out on IG from PFL, he didn't say. He just said she's out. Gabby said they should have called Jennifer Maya. Exactly. Dakota should be there. Yeah. I don't think she wanted to be there, though. I don't think any amount of money would put her in there because, she just didn't want to do it again. But for real, man, like, that's all they could get. They couldn't get like a Jennifer Maya or even Montana. Montana just got cut. You couldn't call her up and throw some money at her and get a true flyweight in there, man. Shoot, get Andrea Lee. Andrea Lee just got cut. Get them in there, man. So many other flyweights. I mean, flyweights from Invicta FC. Shoot, you had a couple of flyweights in LFA that just won not too long ago. Get them in there. Shoot, get what's the girl's name from LFA? Cheyenne Bowers, Shannon Clark, any of them. Just they like to throw money around. So I'm just saying, man. I thought there was like a real flyweight that could get in there and compete. But yeah, Tyler's situation though, man. Let's talk a little bit about Tyler, man. Like, I really don't know what's going on. Everything looked fine. She said she was good. She said she was ready. I don't know. Something just seems kind of off about Tyler Santos. Even going into that Dakota fight, I kept saying, man, I'm worried for her. I thought she would have had the skills to win, maybe, but I was like, I'm kind of worried for her, man. Something just seems off about her as far as like her mentality to get higher. It just seems like she's putting the gloves on now. Like, I don't really get the vibe that, she's training to win, maybe just enough to fight. A plot twist, she resigns with the UFC. Oh, man. It ain't the time to sign. It really ain't the time for her to resign at the UFC. That's how, I hate to say it, like, that's how much I feel Tyler Santos has declined. I think she's declined enough for me to say that Aaron would beat her again. Natalia Silva would beat her. Shoot, Viviane Araújo might beat her. You know, that's not a place for her to be right now because it's a little crazy right now in the top 5. So yeah, I don't think Tyler Santos is a game to be re-signed right now, especially coming off that hard loss to Dakota. It wasn't even like a 5-round decision loss. You know what I mean? So it was a straight beating. It just puts her puts her to the side from the UFC fighters right now. She's gotta reinvent herself. So nah, man. Yeah, Tyler's got to sort it out. Easy said, I've been saying Tyler don't want it no more, just fighting for checks. Yeah, I don't see it. I just don't see like the evolution there. I saw more improvements in Jazz the Vicious last 3 fights than I have in Tyler's last 4. You know, I'm seeing Jasmine make some Jasmine might beat Tyler at this point. Somebody like Jazz the Vicious, I mean, she might beat her at this point. So I'm just saying, like, somebody else is coming with some, just a little killer instinct. It might hurt her. So I don't know. Yeah, what's the deal? What is the deal? Let's look here before I jump off this one, man. To show my disappointment for this tournament. What's wrong with Tyler? Why is she out of the PFL tournament right now? She's out of the tournament. Let's see. The promotion announced Monday that Tyler has withdrawn from a first round flyweight pairing with Juliana Velasquez. As a result, Shakalova will step in and face Velasquez. Okay. What is the reason, though? Somebody said the season format doesn't work for MMA on Reddit. That's true. And this is the big question. Can Shakalova make 125? Somebody said she was scheduled to fight at 125 for this event. Of course she was. I mean, this is a flyweight tournament, but the thing is, she don't fight at 125. Somebody said, is she injured? Couldn't make weight, tested positive. Taking on a super fight with Dakota. They're crazy, man. She withdraws. Card gets new headliner. Yeah, even the headliner is done. Okay, but it's currently unclear if she will receive a replacement opponent. No, she's got a replacement opponent. Let's see. Shakalova will step in. Velasquez was slated to fight. Is withdrawn. Let me see. I don't see anything yet. It's been a day. Some of this news has been out for a day, but I don't see anything, man. I don't see anything about her pulling out. Oh, yeah, I don't see anything. Tiago, what's up? He said I'm late to the party. Nah, man, you just in time, man. Just in time. Anybody coming through to the party, always welcome. Mike Lee says Santos fired her team after Shevchenko loss. She has no team and trains in her garage. Yep. I talked about that a little while back. Whenever Manon, her trainer and partner, her boyfriend, Aldric, he put it out there. Because I guess he was just watching. He was like, "Hey, she don't really have a trainer. That's why she's on the decline right now." Let's see. JP said Tyler should retire. It might be something to consider, yeah, because whenever somebody is not showing like the fight, I hate to see them get hurt, and I think she might be a danger to herself when she's getting it. I'm just being honest, like over anybody right now, even some of the unranked fighters, like even Lipsky right now, I'm not worried about. Like, I think Lipsky can still hold her own in there because she can still fight to a certain level. But Tyler, sometimes I don't know. I'm just not seeing the right things being done there. So, yeah. Easy says some people retire without announcing it. Yeah, Tiago said he didn't get a notification this time. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Sometimes they don't go out there. They don't. But hey, as long as you're here, that's all that matters. Mark said Tyler needs to stop doing these do-it-yourself trainings. Yeah, that's the big part, man. Like training in the garage, that ain't gonna get you nothing, man. Like training in the garage, that's what you want to do when you're retired and you just trying to stay in shape. That's what I'll do now, you know. But if you wanna really make it, I mean, she need to reach out to elevation somewhere, get with a real gym, get that money, dish it out, sacrifice some, don't hold back. That's why I hate whenever you hear that, like when people don't pay their trainers, man. Like, it's a family, man. Like once you get into that relationship, it's a working relationship. You can't do it alone. I mean, yeah, you go in there and fight, but you need some trainers that's really going to help you. You got to get the best. You got to get the best sparring partners, the best grapplers, whatever. You can't play around like that. So if she don't get back on that level with training, yeah, she probably would have to retire. But yeah, I don't see anything here, man. I don't see anything. They haven't put out why she's withdrawn. Maybe she will later. She's kind of been ghost about it. Been out on the beach and everything, but and posted anything. So yeah. But yeah, that's crazy. But this right here is gonna be crazy. This right here is gonna be crazy, y'all. June 7th. Just kind of doing a little prelude to this, man. Hernandez Silva and Wayne Cong. Man, somebody getting knocked out. Somebody is getting knocked out, or somebody's getting choked out. I really wouldn't be surprised if somebody gets choked out in this fight too. But they Silva and Cong. My thoughts, I think, yeah, they're back on track to kind of push Wayne Cong to the top again. Is Cong ready for a ranked opponent? That's the question. Y'all think she's ready for a ranked opponent? What's her resume now? 2-1 in the UFC. Let's see. She finishes Leonardo, gets finished by Gabriela Fernandez. Then she beats Bruno Brazil by decision. And now she's getting a ranked opponent at 2-1. I would have liked to see her fight somebody unranked still. Maybe fight a couple of unranked people. Like I said, I got a format. You got to fight at least 3 to 4 unranked fights and look good. And then you get your ranked opponent. You got to thrash them. But she kind of set herself back by getting finished by Fernandez. And even by winning decision against Bruno Brazil. I'm just saying, like, she should have finished Bruno Brazil too. I'm just saying, like, if they riding high with her like this, you got to be able to finish that fighter too. But they're giving her the number 14. Oh, dang, Casey O'Neill, number 13 still. That's who Barbosa wanted. Shoot, they should let her fight Ernesta Carrascata. That would have been a good fight. But yeah, I don't think to me, I know what they're trying to do. They want to get her close to Valentina. But hey, the closer you try to put her on that path, the closer you might set her up for failure again. You're setting her up for destruction. Getting schooled again, because a little while back, my mind still ain't changed, man. I still think that somebody like I still feel the same way about it, because before the Bruno Brazil fight, even before the Gabriela Fernandez fight, I said Rose Namajunas would beat her. I think Rose could still beat her at this point. I think that Rose could still beat her. Yeah. I think Rose would still beat her at this point. So when you try to push her too fast without growth, you might see some problems here. I think De Silva is a fight she could win, because I think, sometimes De Silva is a little timid. And Wayne Cong, she can get you to the ground. Like, she seems to be a little stronger and bigger. So I think this is a fight she could hang in if she gets her opponent to the ground, But if she does win the fight, it's going to put her in a rough position. It's going to put her against some of these harder fighters, So we'll see. I just got to kind of look back at what Lipsky looked at like in her last couple fights again, which wasn't that good. But I really want to see like her body language in those fights. But yeah, even Wayne Cong, man, like, I think she's a really, really good striker. Like I said, I think there's hope for her when I did a video about her, but I don't want to see her push too fast yet. You know, especially if she's still questionable. She ain't come through and win all her fights like Aaron and Manon or Tyler did in the beginning. See, Tyler got up there early in her career because, yeah, she was working. She was working. Different now, but still. Yeah, Jasmine is a bad matchup. I think Jasmine is a bad matchup for Wayne Cong. I like this, we'll see how she would react to one of those punches. But yeah, I think that Jasmine is a bad matchup. She could be a bad matchup. That girl's tough. So yeah. Yeah, this is an important fight, EZ. This definitely is an important fight because it's going to tell us where Day Silva stands right now. This might knock her out of the rankings if she loses. But if Cong wins, it's going to put her in that Shark Tank right away. So I see early right now Wayne Cong having the power to hold her own in this one. And even, like I said, having the strength to fight on the inside and even make it interesting by taking it to the ground. Shoot, JoJo. I remember JoJo back in the day JoJo became a grappler against Lipsky. When they feel Lipsky's power, I remember JoJo actually out grappled her. That was crazy. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, man. What else? We got this weekend's fights. Let's see. Nora Cornell and let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Nora Cornell and Haley Cowan. Because this is UFC 314. No, we're watching. Yeah, we're gonna be watching 314, not 315 yet. Let me see here. Hold on. Yeah, because that fight was originally for 315. Yeah, it was originally on 315, but now they moved it to 314. They moved it up because Cornell is from France. So I thought they were going to put her on that card with 315, flyweights. Hold on, let's see. No. Oh yeah. It'd be decent win if it wouldn't be really proof she's elite like most. No, it really wouldn't. Easy said, I think it's going to be a slugfest. Yeah. I think it is going to turn out to be a fight where they. Let's see, man. Yeah, let's see, because I remember when what's her name got pulled into that. Lipsky got pulled into that slugfest with Priscilla Cachoeira at 135, and man, she got laid out. She got laid out hard, So maybe she learned from that. Hopefully, she don't do that again, right? I hope Nora doesn't put me in shame on her IG. It look like she's on vacation in Miami. What? She out here chilling already, man. Let me see. Where is this card? I'm trying to pull up this card. You don't think she training right, man? She out here just hanging and not doing what she's supposed to be doing. She better take this fight seriously because Haley Cohen been out for a while, and I think this girl gonna be ready to fight, man. She can't be out here playing around like that. He said she is what? Come on, man. This fight is serious. All right. Let's see here. I'm just looking for this. Yeah, let me pull this up real quick. Yes, twins. They got the full card out here. When was her last fight? When was Haley Cohen's last fight anyways? Okay. Let's see here. All right, I'll pull it up right here. Let's see. And let me see if y'all can see that. If I can make it a little bit bigger. Hold on. Yeah, that's the card. So yeah, let's see. Haley Cohen taking on Nora Kernol. And then then you got, why I keep forgetting, Jan Janan versus Verna Jandaroba, right? That's the big fight right there. I really need to kind of go back and watch that one and just see who really looks like the threat now and the most improved fighter from their last few fights. Well, let's see here. Nora Kernol, yeah, she lost her last fight against Jacqueline Cavalcanti, but before that, she did beat Jocelyn Edwards. You know, she does have an experienced opponent on her resume. You know, I think Nora Kernol fights a little bit more intensity. Definitely a better striker than Haley Cohen. Haley Cohen hasn't fought in almost 2 years. Her last fight was against Jamie Linhorth, and that was her only fight, you know, because she was having a lot of problems in the UFC, you know. So I kind of lean towards I do lean towards Nora Kernol in this one. She's got the more experience, like I said, more intensity and just a better striker, you know. So we'll see. Man, this fight though, Verna, I got to come back on later and talk about it, man. Verna and Jan. I really wouldn't be surprised if Verna did win this fight. You know, I think that Verna, once she gets you down, especially Jan Janan, I think she'll have the grappling skills and the ground game to keep her down. But, you know, I can't count Jan out. You know, Jan just can't throw too many body kicks or too many side kicks because, you know, she could get her foot caught, get taken down. But I want to know, like, how, you know, how much have they improved on their takedown defense and even their like bottom game now? Like, how is Jan Janan going to react to these takedowns? Like when she's put on her back, when she's in half guard, like is she strong enough to get up? I know they've been working on their strength and conditioning a lot. You know, I've seen, you know, Jan Janan lifting and, you know, putting that strength on. And, you know, she is a big straw weight, but just looking back at how some of the other fighters took her down and she's always stuck on her back. You know, you're looking at a polished grappler in Verna Jandaroba, man. So every time I just think how Verna's improved on her feet and, you know, she's getting better with her own striking and knows how to time with her jab, I kind of look more towards Verna, man. I can't help it. Like, I do want to see Jan Janan win. I do. But shoot, Verna, you know, can't count her out either. You know, to me, it's like may the best woman win at this point. You know, I think that, you know, Verna's definitely earned her spot. This is what, 4 fights in a row for her now. So I think if Verna wins, it's definitely not a bad thing. You know, I think that overall, you know, Verna's skills gotten, you know, way more polished than, you know, when she fought Carla before. Even when she fought Mackenzie Dern, you know, I think that Verna, you know, since even after that injury, you know, she came back from, you know, she came back hungry. She beat Angela Hill, Marina Rodriguez, Lupi, Amanda. That was her last big win. I really wanted to see her and Tatiana Suarez fight. That would have been good, but that didn't, you know, that didn't ever. It just didn't happen. You know, they went on and went the championship fight for Suarez. But I think that, you know, Verna Jandaroba definitely has a good chance of winning this one, and it all comes down to just her ability to mix her game up. You know, she's a grappler, but she's got the striking now. I'm still a little worried, like I said, about Jan Janan on the ground. I think she's definitely the better kickboxer, has the ability to counter and maybe even hurt Verna, but we'll see. I got to think about this one. What do y'all think, man? Who do y'all got? Just an early look here with Verna and Jan. Axel said Nora is stronger and more powerful in her striking. On paper, she should win. The UFC gave her a redemption fight after a loss against Jacqueline. That's what I think too. Yeah, I think she is stronger. Definitely in the clinch too, man. Powerful knees, man. But yeah, I'm looking at Verna right now, kind of rooting for Jan, you know, to get back in there again. But I do want to see something different. You know, I think Verna would be good, you know, against the champion. But yeah, we'll see. We shall see. Marcus said he's got Jan so far. Even Axel said he's got Jan. Okay. Y'all think Jan Zanon is ready? I mean, Jan Zanon got to put that right hand down the pipe in this fight, man, and she just got to keep her distance. Same thing she did to Ricci. I know Verna's a little bit bigger, but she just got to stay on it. Stay on her bike here, move and counter. But we'll see. I might do a little video talking about this fight though, because I just want to go back and look at some of the performances again. But yeah, that's all I got for tonight, y'all. It was a good weekend. Like I said, WMMA's been picking up over the past month now or so. I haven't really seen a bad fight yet. They all been delivering, so I might actually go back and watch some of these fights again, man. But on that note, shout out to everybody in the chat. I will definitely be on next Tuesday, of course, with BJ. We're going to do this WMMA mashup like we do. So make sure y'all subscribe to No Filter MMA as well. We'll be on next Tuesday together. I won't be live for any fights this weekend. Like, I won't be live for 314, but I could get back on Thursday maybe if I don't have a lot going on, which I do actually. Actually, tomorrow is my chill day as well, but Thursday on to next Monday, I am busy. Paul said, I like Jan too. I'm hoping her and Faber have been working on that takedown defense for the last year. I hope so too. I really hope so too. She's come far from that Carla loss though. I will say that she has. But yeah, on that note, y'all, make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe. And if you enjoyed WMMA Talk, make sure y'all just stay subbed and tune in. On that note, I'm out, y'all. Peace.